They say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step. Say it's no place like home, but it seems that home is wherever I roam. So I travel to the east, to the sound of the streets, with a whole new balance from my soul to my feet. So let's step.
Some wonder what is he? Is he hippie or gypsy? Drug dealing or pimping? Why he limping? Legs tied from all his cross-country living. Mind driven, but I ain't driving. Feet to the ground with my head in the sky. And stepping on nails, gotta keep it striding. No matter when I get there, it's perfect timing.
I use them for the pit, and I make buttons out of the base. I just cut these up and kind of file them down and then make buttons for my vest.
All right, so we're here with Tom Poorbear. Yesterday we were talking about who he is, and now we're going to try to talk about Camp Justice. We just started kind of getting into that yesterday. So whenever you're ready, just go ahead.
Well, on June 8th of 1999, a lot of sadness and anger came to my family on the brutal murder of my younger brother, Wilson Wally Blackout Jr., and my cousin Ron Harthart. Their bodies are found within the boundaries of the Pine Ridge, which is the Oglala Lakota Nation. And within that time, within a 2-week period, 8 of our people were found dead on the creeks of Rapid City. A young man who was an FAS baby who was 24 years old by the name of Boo Many Horses was killed by 4 non-Indians and stuffed face down in the trash can in Mobridge, South Dakota. A man by the name of Justin Redday out of Siston, South Dakota was doored by 2 white ranchers and was killed. No charges were brought about that. And all this happened within 2 weeks, but with the murder of my brother and my cousin, I called upon the American Indian Movement, which I'm part of. I'm a member of the American Indian Movement and the supporters of the American Indian Movement. And people came from all 4 directions into Pine Ridge. We had a very large rally there, and we marched into White Clay for these murders. We had about over 2,000 people that came, and that wanted justice. It was probably one of the largest marches any reservation has ever seen, or probably even the state of South Dakota or the state of Nebraska.
I told myself this is not going to happen no more. I do not want another family to go through this tragedy that my family has. The murder scene is now the site of a memorial and a place called Camp Justice. Oglala Lakota protesters say this was more than just a murder. It was a hate crime. Somebody had to have had a lot of hate in our people to do this brutal murder, to do it so brutal. Poorbear now takes the lead, protesting an investigation that seems to be stalled. And he directs his anger outside the reservation, just across the state line, to a tiny border town called White Clay, Nebraska. We're in the belly of a little monster. That little monster is White Clay.
And White Clay, the reason why we chose White Clay is because of the alcohol that is sold there, and because there is absolutely no law enforcement. It's a lawless town, and it's part of the Pine Ridge. There was an executive order that was signed by a president of the United States, Chester Arthur, in the late 1800s, that returned that to the Pine Ridge. A buffer zone was established, a 50-mile square radius buffer zone was established, and that was belonging to the Pine Ridge. And one thing about White Clay, the lure of their alcohol had brought a lot of our people there. And they do have an alcohol problem. But I never see my people as alcoholics, you know. I see them as people in pain, people wanting, people not having, people that pride has been stripped from them. And believe me, I know, because I am one of them. And that's where my brother and my cousin were last seen, was in White Clay. So we organized a march, and we marched for justice, asking for an adequate investigation of these murders. Because one thing about western South Dakota and the border towns of Nebraska, our people receive no justice there. There's been so many unsolved deaths within that Sheridan County of Nebraska and western South Dakota, and the FBI looked the other way.
They have no respect for our culture. They have no respect for us as a people. I have no idea why they think that my deputy might have been involved in this.
Sheridan County Sheriff Terry Roberts is the law in White Clay.
I do know that their attitude is that they don't think we have jurisdiction up there, and that law enforcement picks on the Native Americans.
We walk for that justice that happens to put the bed when alcohol is brought into our land. On June 25th, less than 3 weeks after the murders, a protest march on White Clay turned violent. Hundreds of Lakota protesters filled the streets demanding answers in the murder and demanding that beer stores be closed.
I apologize to my people that happened, because it wasn't the intent of the walk. It was a spiritual, peaceful walk. But I cannot apologize to someone that has harmed my people.
And it's going on 7 years now. In fact, it's going on 8 years. And we continue to march, seeking justice, asking for an adequate investigation. We've applied pressure on the FBI. We've applied pressure on the U.S. Civil Rights Commission. We've wrote countless of letters to the Attorney General at that time, who was Janet Reno, and they seem to have looked the other way. And it seems like when my people, when we die, or when we are murdered, I should say, you know, we're expendable. I mean, we don't get the proper authorities down here to do an adequate investigation. After the marches in June and July of 1999, we established a camp called Camp Justice to keep attention to these murders and all the other unsolved deaths within the border towns of Nebraska and South Dakota. And our commitment to this camp is that we would stay at this camp until justice was found, until someone was caught and held responsible for the murders of Wally and Ron, and that a thorough and complete investigation be done, and all the other deaths in White Clay. Within a 5-year period prior to Wally and Ron's murder, 8 of our people were found dead in White Clay. We're a very proud people. We're very humble, and we carry a lot of respect within our hearts. We still have a lot of virtues of our ancestors, and that's what Camp Justice is today. Is we're carrying the responsibility of our ancestors today, as Nebraskans carry the responsibility of their ancestors on how the mistreatment of our people has been going on for over 500 years. Ever since Columbus was half a world off, you know, we found him on the shores of the East Coast, and we accepted him, we took him in. And since then, it's been like a holocaust of my people, where almost a complete culture has been wiped out. But we continue to live, and Camp Justice continues to be there. and we continue to march. I know people have said, you know, it's noble to march, it's honorable to march, it's popular to march, but people can't march forever. But then I look at the Trail of Tears of the Cherokees who were forced to walk to a different part of the country away from their lands. I remember Geronimo, who was made to march to a train and taken to a different climate where he couldn't live. I remember the longest walk across America. I remember the marches of justice for Leonard Peltier and other political prisoners. So we continue to march. It's a commitment we made to the spirit of Wally and Ron and other people who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And in a way, that's what Wally and Ron did when they were murdered, is they opened up the eyes that we do want justice, and we will continue to fight for justice. I remember a great leader of ours who said, "The wagon trains are coming. Now our people must stop living and start surviving." But now I feel the people have to stop surviving and start living again in unity, and to fight against the common enemy, which is the injustices of our people.